Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Kara Cohn, and this is my partner in crime, Sharon Hooper.
Hi, everyone.
We are going to continue our series called Essential Skills COVID Edition. And today's focus will be on dreams and goals. So, Sharon, we all have heard people talk about dreams and goals, like, follow your dreams. But what does that really mean? I think there's a lot to unpack here.
I
Perhaps,
agree.
in your right, and perhaps in your life,
Yeah.
you have kind of attracted a certain thing that you think about a lot. And then you find yourself looking for more information about it. And then suddenly there's months and months that are going by, and you are spending time thinking about this very idea. So at some point, it's meaning so much to you that you want to move forward. You want to get your dream focused. You want to have an understanding of how to start and keep moving with small, little goals that are attainable. So important not to look at the entire thing and hope to finish it one, two, three, but instead take your time, come up with a series of steps. And it might be that you need some assistance on that. It's important to see how you can get focused on the individual steps. Now, you are making a commitment to yourself just by pursuing this. You're looking to become the best version of yourself. And all of these clues that come your way when you are listening to or learning something new about this topic, and you discover that it's exciting, those feelings keep moving you forward. And the more you talk about it, the more you realize that there are people in the world that you are surrounded by that can give you clues on how to take the next step. So you will enjoy life on a daily basis if you are incrementally trying to take baby steps towards working towards this goal. What do you think, Sharon?
Wow, I couldn't have said that better, Kara. In my all my coaching, that's what I work with people and teams about and individuals is going way, way out there and thinking of a really big dream and a really big goal. And instead of panicking about how you're going to do it, then you bring it all back in and plan those small steps. And it's really helpful to work with somebody that can really appreciate and support your goals and dreams and help you filter out those little steps one by one.
So, Sharon, that's exactly what we do here at WVS.
Hmm, so true. So, dreams and goals give your life purpose, direction, and meaning. They can shape your life choices and help you build a really exciting future for yourself. Actually, dreams and goals give you a sense of direction and control over what happens next in your life. So when you wake up in the morning and say, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do today? I don't know how I'm going to fill my day. You've got a dream and a goal posted right up in front of you with some steps, and you just go right to that and say, oh, this is what I'm going to do today. So setting goals gives you short term vision about what you might want in 3 months. But we encourage our clients and our coaching clients and the people that we work with to look out a year in advance, sometimes even 3 years. So, what might you want to happen in 3 months towards this longer goal? And then when we get close to the end of those 3 months, we do another 3 months of daily activities. So the bottom line is when we're clear and focused about what we want in life, it makes life much easier to manage. In fact, I even wrote a book about it, Proven
Huh.
Methods to Achieve Your Plan of Action.
I bought that book. You can.
That's called a shameless marketing plug, although I wasn't intending on it.
So, Sharon, can I just ask a question?
Sure.
So, we're right in the middle of COVID. And
Mm,
sometimes what seems to happen is the dreams or the goals that we set for ourselves might just get a stop because
mhm.
we're in the middle of this pandemic. So, what would be your advice, Sharon, about persevering and not giving up?
Wow, on the spot
How do you
question.
maintain that? Yeah,
Okay, I've had some challenges with this myself because I can wake up and think, oh my God, another day of COVID. What am I going to do today? I can't meet with anybody personally, and I get all panicky inside. Or I can remember before I even pick my head up off the pillow to say, oh, this is going to be a great day. I know we're in COVID and I have some goals planned, and I'm going to Zoom with some of my friends. So I guess what I'm saying is that we can plan our day before we even get out of bed. And we have a choice of making it a positive plan or making it a negative plan for the day. So if we can keep talking to ourselves and doing a lot of self talk and say, even though COVID might be happening right now, there are so many ways that I can move forward in my life. And I can reach out to support others and ask them to support me.
that's a great answer, Sharon. So, the bottom line is we have friends who can help us stay on track, and we also have our WVS support. So, if we're feeling a little bit like we're not getting anywhere, we can reach out and we can get somebody to cheer us on. And hopefully, eventually, we can cheer on ourselves.
That's so true, Kara. And I have a courtroom confession to make is that I call Kara probably every day, or she calls me. And we've had a lot of challenges during this COVID time, too. And we know how important it is to always remember to reach out. We do not have to do this journey alone. I can't emphasize that enough. Whether it's during this COVID crisis or before or after, there are always people to reach out to. And I think that we forget that, except I have Kara on speed dial, so I never forget.
So, Sharon, let's talk about some of those action steps. Once we decide that we have a goal, what should we be doing?
Well, first you got to get clear and focused.
Ah,
So before you can even decide on the final goal. So Kara and I do these fun mappings. And what we've done with a lot of our clients before, regardless of the age, they could be teenagers or they could be somebody with some disabilities in their 50s. We've just taken out some blank paper, big sheets, and we've put their goal or we've kind of played around with spokes and curly cues and everything else and just asked a lot of questions about that goal or the dream. And then when we're all done, we're able to take specific pieces of what they said and put it into let's do this first, let's do this second, third, fourth, and fifth. So the magic is ensuring that our clients can see and hear and take part in some kind of an interactive session which teases out their goal or dream. Now, we don't expect them to do it by themselves, and that's why we're able to work with them um, through our agency, which is always gratifying. And when we do these mappings to help people get clear and focused, honestly, it's such an exciting event because the person that we're working with will look at it and go, wow, that's it. They're looking at a visual and saying, wow, that's it. That's what I've been trying to say. So that's what I mean when I say reach out. I couldn't do it on my own. Kara wouldn't do it on her own. I have friends all over the United States, and we do these Zoom mappings with each other at least once a month. And it doesn't make any difference what the topic is, actually. It's all about getting clear and focused and then pulling the pieces apart with help to make a specific plan of action that's achievable.
So Sharon, it sounds like all the little ideas that brew in our heads about what we think we want in our life gets put on paper. So now it's no longer just living in our body. Now we can see it. And
Yeah,
now we can use that mapping to help us move forward step by step.
I've had hundreds and hundreds, and I'm not exaggerating, as a coach for the last 20 years, hundreds of people tell me how potent the vision mapping is because they can feel it in their hearts, they can see it visually, and mindfully they can do kind of a linear thinking about it. But now when they see the visual, it's their dream has opened up so big. It's like, oh, I never thought of that, or how would I do that? So the mappings have just become part of my life. In fact, the funnest thing is to go out to eat with somebody and they bring up something and I grab a napkin and I say, I draw a circle in the middle and I say, okay, what's the challenge right here? And literally in 10 or 15 minutes of conversation, we can just pull out things and they'll look at the napkin and say, wow. And I have to admit, some of my best work has been done on restaurant napkins.
So what do we do next then, Sharon?
We have to confirm with the person we're working with that this is the goal or the dream for now. And I have to also say that that could change in 3 months or 6 months. That's why with our agency, with WVS, we do a redo kind of a plan every single year with specific SMART goals to see if the dream has changed or the goal has changed. So we tweak it however we need. So let's say I've sat down with you and just in 30 seconds, this is the fast, super fast version. Give me a goal that you have, anything.
I will increase my stamina.
Whoa, okay,
Whoa.
that could be a lot of things. So picture a circle in the middle with increased stamina on it. And so I'm going to pull out a little curly Q like that, and I'm going to say, Kara, what are you doing now for increasing your stamina?
I am walking 40 minutes every other day, increasing
Awesome.
it in little tiny increments.
So we're going to skip to the chase here at the very end. So now I know what the goal is. Now I know what she's doing. Now I'm going to make questions about, are you able to increase that? It's going to be by how much? If you are going to increase it by 15 minutes every day, what would you do? So that would be the next step. And the last step would be making a 1, 2, 3, 4. On Monday, I do this at this time for such a period of time. On Tuesday, I do this exercise. On Wednesday, I do this, or maybe I take a day off. So at the end of the whole process, we come up with a specific plan of action. Now, if any of you don't know, Kara had a serious accident a couple of years ago, and it's really affected her leg and her gait and how she is able to walk and stay in balance with her body. So that's why she probably brought up increasing stamina. And I hope you don't mind that I shared that with whoever is watching Kara.
Not at all. So, what is being specifically described on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are ways to build on what's already been accomplished. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that
And
applies to
then,
every goal?
yes.
Yes.
And we put a date on it. When I do that circle with people, I say, when would you like to have this established? It's in perfect working order. You get up in the morning and this is already in place. And it gives an opportunity for somebody not to just keep dragging on and on and on, but I'm going to work towards this goal with this plan, and my intention is to have it fully operational, whatever it is, at this date. And that statement, when you make it back to somebody who's doing a mapping or talking with, is very, very powerful because now I've got a specific plan. I know I've got somebody to help me with it. I know when I want it to be activated, and I'm just going to make it happen. And then, you know how big I am on affirmations.
Let's talk about affirmations. Why do
Okay.
you think they're effective? Why do they work?
Well, I'm sure we've all heard before that what our mind thinks is how we act. So, whatever our mind is telling us to do, we act on. Now, if we tell ourselves good things, we're probably going to act on those good things. If we have a lot of self talk going on that's negative, we're going to be thinking in a negative frame of mind a lot. That is the hardest thing for people to do is to change their self talk. And I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself, but I had some wonderful coaches in the past who were able to point out and observe that I said certain things that weren't on a super positive scale. So that was like 25 years ago. I started
Wow.
working on that
Wow.
consciously. And now it's automatic for me, but it took me years to recognize what I was actually thinking, the self-talk. So today is kind of a dark day up here in Friday Harbor, and it looks like it's going to rain and or snow because the temperature dropped. I could look out the window and say, oh my God, winter is coming. It's cold and miserable, and I'm not going out to walk today. Or I could say, wow, winter's coming. I can't wait for the first snow to come. Now, I might not fully believe that. However, I do fully believe that if we put ourselves in a good frame of mind, that even if it doesn't quite happen, we're still thinking, oh, snow, I can't wait to go out and play in the snow. So, anyway, I could go on about how we make choices and what our mind tells us to do. But I'm curious about everybody or anybody listening to this. Perhaps you could have a conversation with somebody and ask that person to be aware of how you're saying things. Are there negative words in there? Are there words like, I'll try to do this, or maybe I'll think about it? No, you don't want the word try in your vocabulary at all. You don't want the word maybe or perhaps. You want to get rid of that from your vocabulary. You just want to act as if it is happening right now. I am, I will, this is what I do every day. There are so many different kinds of affirmations, um, but it all comes down to truly, this is the nugget of self talk is that one has to want to change the self talk. I've worked with people before that just weren't willing to change their languaging. And it was frustrating, and lots of things happened as a result of that. But you've really got to make a choice in your heart, in your mind, that says, I am only going to use positive and forward moving language. And some people just aren't ready to do that because they're stuck. They like being a victim. They like telling people that they're never successful at something. Oh, Kara, I could go on and on. Okay, make me stop talking.
So Sharon, here's what I want to know. If I am getting caught up in the cold weather and I know I'm supposed to take a walk, or I'm really working on eliminating those negative tapes in my head, those negative feedback loops, should I maybe take an affirmation or a reminder and place them strategically around my house so that when I look in the mirror, when I open up the refrigerator, when I'm walking down my hall, any opportunity to help me remember not to lead with negative thoughts. And I remember you saying just a little bit ago in this video that before you take your head off the pillow, you set the tone for the day with a positive statement about how your day is going to go. If we could just do that, that would help us move our path on the goal for sure. We want to be more positive. We want to find meaning in our days. We want to look for ways to be more successful, and we want to be the best version of ourselves we can be. So you're saying that affirmations are really beneficial.
They are.
So what's an example of an affirmation, Sharon?
I stop eating a tablespoon of peanut butter at 3 a.m. every night. That's kind of a funny one, but
That's a great one.
sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I probably need to put a padlock on the almond butter.
That's funny.
But I wake up, but that's kind of a frivolous one, but it's still an idea of I do something. It's an action phrase. So one could be, well, about your stamina. I build stamina daily. And what do you think about that? If you put that on a post-it note, or I bet you already have something up in various places.
I do, actually, because you and I have been working together for so long. I will admit that I definitely use affirmations. I have them in my closet, on my refrigerator, on the mirror in the bathroom. And what I've done is I've put affirmations on my phone. They ding,
great idea.
They ring at certain points in the day, and I notice them and I look at them and I say, oh yeah, there it is. And I'm instantly brought back to my intention for the day.
That I am just amazed. I didn't know that, Kara, and I'm going to do that too, because man, I can get halfway through the day, and after I've talked with clients and caseworkers and family members, I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing here? I've been on 3 Zoom meetings today.
Right.
And so for me, my affirmation that would ring as an alarm would be I stop every 2 to 3 hours and I just practice breathing for 5 minutes. That's all it takes, is that I reset my oxygen level. And another one that I'm going to start taking part in right away is chair yoga. So our senior center is offering an expert in chair yoga, and I can walk and do things, but just to remember, I'm sitting in my office chair a lot more now than I used to before COVID. And so I need a reminder to move my body and to get my blood flowing. So those are the
That's
kind
right.
of affirmations that I do chair yoga every day. I stop every 2 to 3 hours and do at least 5 minutes of breathing. I put a padlock on the peanut butter jar. They could be anything that you need reminders on. So can you think of another one or two?
So a reminder just to be positive. A reminder to walk the dog.
Ah,
A reminder to interact with somebody that you love if you haven't talked to them that day. It's so important to feel our connections, even though we can't be necessarily in person right now.
that's so true, Kara. And I know we're getting to the end of our time. And so I'd like to put out an action challenge to anybody who's watching this. And let me see. Let's play with some action challenges. So my first action challenge is to not make judgments about anything that you're saying to yourself or that anybody else is saying, but to be curious. So in coaching, I call that judgment-free awareness, and we haven't talked about that. But the judgment-free awareness plus curiosity takes us into a whole different zone of how we can be gentle with ourselves and still change what we're talking about in our heads and the actions that we take. So that's not exactly an action state. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there if anybody's interested. But my action would be to get clear about my next goal. And in order to get clear around my next goal, I have to write some journaling. I have to write down my dream or my goal. And then I have to write down just 3 or 4 steps that I need to do. And since I might not be able to do it totally on my own, or I want to brainstorm, I'll call Kara and say, Kara, I have this great goal and I'm not exactly sure how to approach it. So can we brainstorm my next 3 steps to reach that goal? So the action and the affirmation on, okay, I'm getting to it. The action and the affirmation that I put up on my sticky note could be, I gain clarity about my goal and I take steps.
Very good. So then the homework here is to identify the focus, spend time with somebody who can help you tease out your action steps, and then take the action steps and write a sticky note to prompt you to stay on track.
Absolutely. So what affirmation might you make?
Let's see. My stamina increases daily with my efforts.
I love that one. Do you have
Okay.
that one up someplace?
It's going up today.
Yoo-hoo! So I think all of you that are listening have the idea of how powerful affirmations are towards reaching our goal. And along with affirmations is the intention. I intend to do this, not again, I'm going to say try, maybe, perhaps, but I intend for this to happen. A sticky note could even be, I intend to reach my goal.
Yes.
And there are all sorts of things that come under that. If you don't know what falls under that, just give us a call because we're always available to help and support others. It's why we're in this job, business, career, whatever it is that you want to call it, that we do, working with people who have any kind of disabilities, because we know how much support we've had in the past, and we know how lives are transformed just by having somebody who cares, who works with them every week, who says, we care, I care, let's just go one step further and one step further.
Thank you so much, Sharon. We have really unpacked looking at our dreams and our visions for the future and how to be the very best of ourselves. Thank you all for this episode of Essential Skills COVID edition, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great winter.